Are we working? Yeah, we're working now. All right. Good morning. It's an early one here in Southern California. It's another gray and kind of drizzly day, right? I know. Drops down to 52 and we layer here, right? So we complain about all of that. And the rest of you around the world are dealing with floods and tornadoes and all kinds of things. Little drizzle and we cry. So forgive me. Anyway, Stephen Hatcup at Showtime. Good morning. Have a great, great day ahead of you, I hope. A student came to me last week, and an advanced student, right? Baritone sax player. And he's been breaking into improvising, doing a good job of it too. He says, he's got a practice buddy, and that's something I couldn't encourage you, all of you who are at that stage more, to have someone to play with. All right. So one thing sitting in your room practicing, going over all these things and these ideas. It's another entirely to get out and do it with somebody else. That will enrich you so much. Right. Now, what this advanced student was able to bring back was that he thought his solos all were sounding the same. Right. All right. Now, there's two ways to look at that. First, the good news is that he's soloing. That's the good news, right? It's an emerging soloist. It's a great sax, technically superior, right? Now he's soloing. Right? That's the good news. He's actually soloing, and he's becoming comfortable enough in the environment, right? And I'll explain what I mean by that. He's becoming comfortable enough in the environment to notice that his solos all kind of resemble each other, all right? All right, now this is a really, really normal thing in the emergence of us as soloists, right? Is for our solos to resemble each other. There's two reasons for that. One is we're getting used to functioning in that environment. What I mean by that is with a person playing, or even with a backing track, it's constant movement, right? It's like a rip current, it's just like always going. And you got to up your game a little bit, right? You think a little bit faster, got to move a little bit quicker, and your reflexes tend to want to fall back on familiar ideas, familiar phrases, right? That's normal. That's normal. This is a part of development. Stay there. It works. It's okay. You will get out of it. The second thing is that you noticed it. You're the one noticing. No one's coming to you saying, well, dude, don't come back next week because all of your solos sound the same. No. Something that the player, has noticed, right? That's good news, right? Nobody's born into this, right? Nobody comes out of the womb with a horn and can solo. Well, actually, we can all sing little melodies and sing and express ourselves in song, but in terms of translating that to a musical instrument, that takes a little while. So this is part of the process, right? Knowing that your solos will sound the same for a while. It's not the end of the world, okay? We'll work on that. Now, the first and most standard line of defense that you're going to hear here in the YouTube universe is that you got to transcribe solos, all right? You got to transcribe other people's solos. What do I mean by that? If you've never heard this before, that means that you want to listen to somebody that you like who's playing a solo and figure it out on your horn. Figure it out, mean learn it, copy it. You can either write it all down or you can memorize it to the horn. I would advise not to do that if you're in the earliest stages. Not everybody can transcribe, all right? Some people, I've had students before who could hear stuff really quickly and get it, and they were able to do that, right? Most can't. It's not the easiest thing to do. When you get to the place where you want to start transcribing solos, right, on your horn, and I don't care who you transcribe, by the way. You don't have to transcribe another sax player. You can transcribe piano solos, guitar, whatever. B.B. King claims that he learned, the famous blues guitarist, claims that he learned a lot from listening to Louis Jordan, the sax player. So anyway, if you get to the place where, you you're encouraged to go to that next step and start transcribing solos. Don't do that without a tour guide, okay? Make sure you have a really good teacher who knows how to do it and can show you how to do it, okay? I don't care if it's a Zoom lesson. I don't care if it's an in-person lesson. Early, okay. But I want you to do it with somebody who's done it before and can show you the right way to do it, because it's a really valuable thing to be able to do, to transcribe, right? The problem is, and I'm afraid, and I've seen this before, is that it's hard. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. And you'll get discouraged and not gain the benefit of having transcribed a couple of good solos and getting them into your, the intellectual hopper. Peter Jennings, the news guy, that was his phrase. I borrowed it, okay. Anyway, what can you do? What can you do right now as an emerging soloist? All right, I got 3 ideas for you. There's 3, simple, right? Number 1 is the easiest thing you can do is to memorize the melody, all right? Memorize the melody. And I don't mean, you're at that point, there are stages of memorization where you kind of have it, but you're still, really searching through your mind to, maybe even kind of seeing the music in your memory, in your mind's eye. Get off the page, so whatever it takes, get off the page, and make that your like your number 1 practice skill, right? Pick a song you're going to work on. You can't do them all. Just pick one, and memorize that. I mean, memorize it, and that means you got to play it. I don't know, 150 times, maybe more, maybe 500 times. I don't know. Depends on you. But play it over and over and over until you can kind of say, hey, you own it, right? You don't really even have to think about it anymore, all right? I'm not allowed to bring music to gigs, by the way. And I don't know if you have a real book, not a bad investment, or you can learn stuff by ear, or just get sheet offline. You can buy it either way, but you have that and you have a good resource. You got a big telephone book full of things that you can actually choose to work on with your practice buddy, but memorize. Learn the head. What's a head, Dave? That's the melody. That's our slang for the melody of the song. What's the melody, Dave? The part that you could sing, right? The copyrightable part, the whatever it is. Fly me to the moon. Wasn't that good? I'll promise I won't sing anymore. Anyway, that's the melody. Okay, the head, right? Memorize it. Play it so many times that you own it, right? How is that going to help you? Right here. Well, you're going to go, next time you're going to solo, right? You're going to solo and you're going to know that head. That head is composed of, notes from a scale, right? So there's music theory involved there. There's rhythm in making that melody. There's timing, right? And probably some accidentals, meaning, flats or sharps that aren't in the same key as the song. But you're going to have some things to work with there, right? You're going to have some jazz or music language that you're learning from memorizing the head, the melody, right? You got that. So that's in you. And when you play your solo, I would want you to quote from the melody. Quote, play a little bit of the melody. Rearrange the melody. Look at the melody now with your mind as an arranger and say, what notes could I add to that? Or how would I change that? Would I make long notes shorter, short notes longer? Would I change the phrasing just a little bit? Would I maybe connect the notes a little bit differently? Are there maybe some more tones I could stick in there? Fly me to the moon. Fly me to the moon. I mean, whatever, right? I'm not the best singer, especially not early in the morning. But, all right, head, memorize the head. Second thing I want you to do is number 2, all right? This is important. Let's look up a really easy song here. Super easy song. How about, oh gosh. Here, how about Blue Bossa? It's pretty simple. BL, the blues section of here it is, Blue Bossa, right? So I'm looking at Blue Bossa right here. The second thing I want you to do, I suppose this is backwards for you, is to be able to play the harmony What is the harmony, Dave? Well, the chords that your guitar pal or your bass player pal or your piano pal, whatever, the chords, right, that support the melody, right? That's the harmony. And in a book like this, they're spelled out, all right? So what is that? We got a D minor that goes to a G minor 7 to a C dominant C7, all right? If this is stuff that you don't know, it's time to learn it, all right? I mean, at the very minimum, memorize, all this, own it, right? Second step is to be able to at least spell out the triads, like a D minor, right? D minor is a D, F natural, and an A. You should know that, all right? Be able to do that. This is more information that you'll need. G minor 7, C dominant, E minor 7 with a flat 5. All right, this might be a little complicated for some of you who are with me this morning, and this might be a little complicated too. Work these out with your teacher, or just play an E minor 7 and an A dominant. That'll get you through it, okay? The triads, 1, the 3, and the 5. The 1, the root, the 3rd note, and the 5th note in the scale. Look them up. Be able to play those with a metronome. All right, that's even better. Put a little click track on. Be able to play ba ba da boo boo doo be be dee be ba ba like that. All right, and I keep promising you that I won't sing, and I keep singing. So sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that's 2. Number 3. All right, here's the big number 3. Hold on. It's my favorite. Dog cup, right? Dogs have been walked. You know what's really nice? So I want to give them some love. They're not barking at anything right now, which is a beautiful thing. I hope I didn't jinx it. Anyway, step 3. Step 3, and this is where it all comes together. And it's going to seem so obvious and like cheating. It's not. It's not obvious, and it's not cheating. I want you to write out 3 introductions, all right? How are you going to start this solo? How am I going to start it? What am I going to do? What notes do I want to play? I don't care. I don't care how it's. I just want you to do it. Just do. Give yourself 3. Write out 3. Maybe every practice session. Maybe you want to write out 3 every time you. I don't know. Whatever. But 3. How about 4 measures? All right. So that you know where you're going to go and how you're going to start this solo before you get to it. All right. 3. Do 3, all right? And then after you've got that, let's figure out how you're going to end the solo. We can kind of free fall in the middle, but here's the arc of the solo. Here's your beginning that you've written out and you've memorized, and you're going to play this. We're going to go up. The arc of the solo, you get to create, spend some real time, chasing those chords. And then you come back down to the ending whenever you're doing 12-bar solos. 12 bars, not so bad. You do 24, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Come back down to the end and write yourself a 4-bar ending. And it could be that you revert to the melody, the head, right? You go back and play, or whatever the change is. I remember thinking, a long time ago, learning to play a solo to a girl from Ipanema, and I listened to the Stan Getz version of that. And I wondered how he was going to handle the weird changes in the bridge, right? The B part. Songs are, there's talk to your teacher about A, B, A, or whatever the format of the song is. Anyway, this is an A, B, A. Gets to the B, and the changes are really weird. Well, the professor, Mr. Getz, who I studied a lot, just plays just goes back to the melody. Ba, 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 do, ba, boo, do, boo, right? All right, well, you can do that, all right? This is your solo. Anything is legal. You can do anything you want, all right? So always be listening, okay? Listen, and always be recording yourselves, okay? You have any questions, reach out to me. I'm into 15 minutes of your time now, approaching. And I think I'm just going to go finish this steaming hot cup of joe. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope that you have a great day of soloing, of realizing where you are as a soloist. And accept where you are and know that it will get better with time, okay? The more you do it, the better it gets. I promise. All right? All right. Questions? davegoodsax@gmail.com, or comments in the comments section below. I hope this helped. If it did, think about subscribing. Think about sending me some ideas that you would like to have covered in this loose and rambling morning coffee format. And I'm going to make I'm going to try, I'm not promised, but I'm going to try to record a new one every morning this week. Let's see how I do. All right. All right. Take care. It's all I got.